Georgia, tell us how you first got started in football.
I got started in football when I was about 7. I went to just a local club from playing at school. My mum just took me along to kind of the local team, which was Aberdeen kind of girls at the time, and then I just sort of played from then. I've always played in the school teams, played with the boys, played on the street, and just kept going from then.
What was it about the game that you liked? What was it that hooked you?
I just liked the competitive element. I liked that I had the kind of a little bit of talent for it when I was younger, so I kind of found it easy when I was younger, and I'd score goals, and it was like just good fun at the time, and that just kept me in it. And I liked the kind of team aspect and getting to know kind of new people as well.
Did you mix football with other activities?
When I was younger, yeah, I did pretty much every sport, and then when I got to kind of the early teens, I picked football because you got to kind of pick one of them for your time.
What was it like in terms of the amount of girls that were doing what you were doing at that time? Were there many, or was there not many at all?
No, I was kind of the only one. When I was in secondary school, I went to the performance school at Hazelhead Academy, and I was the only girl in it for kind of all the years that I was there. So I'm used to being surrounded by the boys and playing with the boys. And then I'd go and play with my girls' team as well. So there was girls playing football, but it was definitely the minority.
Was there an element of playing with the boys that maybe developed your skills quicker, maybe strength and things like that, having to take the tougher tackles?
Yeah, I think a lot of the boys will start playing football when they kind of start kicking a ball, whereas a lot of the girls will start around the age of kind of 10ish, maybe a bit later. So naturally they were a wee bit behind when I was younger, because this wasn't something that was really done. So playing with the boys definitely made me a bit stronger, faster, and I just kind of got stuck in, really.
How did it develop then? Once you were established in teams, how did your enjoyment and your level develop?
So I just sort of played through all the age groups at Aberdeen Ladies. I really enjoyed it. I just kept going. It was just something that I liked getting up for on the weekends and going to. I never really had a moment where I didn't really like it when I was younger, and I just kind of kept going. And then from then I went to university at Abertay, and then I moved to play for Dundee United for a few years, and then from then I'm up to Montrose.
What was it then you found when you came here? What was it, do you think, about the team at Montrose and the backing you were talking about that kind of stood out?
I think it was just the fact that everyone kind of is welcoming. It's definitely kind of one team, and everyone's kind of gets like seen as kind of equal throughout the team, which is really important. And it's a club that has really good kind of backing from the men's side. I think they treat us just as well as kind of the men, and we're not seen any differently, which is really good. We get to play here at kind of Links Park, and it's just such a good kind of atmosphere at games. Okay, we don't get all like huge numbers through the doors, but when you're playing you feel like you're on a big stage, because they have the commentator and they have match programmes and they do hospitality, and they couldn't ask for any more, really.
How important do you think that is in the women's game in general, going forward, that it's not that there's a men's section and a women's section and that they're treated differently, that it's got to just be all encompassing, it's the one game?
Yeah, I think if the game needs to develop, it needs to be seen kind of equally, and here at Montrose I think they do it like really well, and it kind of makes you feel good as a player that you're seen as you're kind of treated well and you're given everything that you need. I can't complain at all. Even as simple as getting your name on the back of your shirt. This is the first time I've ever had my name on the back of my shirt, and I've been playing in the top kind of couple of leagues for a while, and this is not something that really gets seen. That little thing does make you like kind of feel a lot better, and I think it's really important if you want to push forwards, because a lot of us right now are kind of juggling full-time jobs and a lot of other things on top of football. So we play it because we enjoy it, and we play it because it's fun. But if you want the game to keep developing and getting better and a better quality, then the kind of money needs to be there, and the time and the kind of, as I said, backing from lots of clubs to kind of push it on.
You mentioned the little things. I suppose throughout your footballing journey you've seen the little things that have differentiated men's and boys' football from girls' and women's. And yet you're talking about the little things that make you just feel great, that make you feel the same. How important are the little things?
Oh, it's huge. Even just having kind of sounds silly, but like a social media live stream of a game, so that your family can like see the tweets coming up. You'll be surprised how many top like women's teams don't do that, and you can't even. It's really hard to find what the score is for different teams. I find myself kind of scrolling through heaps of different pages to get the scores. It's getting better, definitely, but little things like that just make you feel like you're part of something bigger. Whether it's name in the back of your shirt, whether it's a match day programme, whether it's kind of interviews like this to kind of make it be seen by, I guess, the younger girls that are coming up will look at it and be like, wow, I could kind of be there and be even better than the girls that are doing it just now, and hopefully not have to juggle so many things like a lot of us do at the time.
Why do you think Montrose has embraced the women's team? Why do you think we saw the day that you won the league as Invincibles, how big the club made it? Why do you think Montrose has decided that there's no other option, this is the way to do it?
I think, well, from when I came here, I came in 2021, so it was the year that we won the league and was invincible, and I think since they made a women's team, it was never seen as like a second thought. It was always seen as kind of like a priority, or it felt like it from a player's perspective, and it was given kind of everything it needed to kind of grow, and that's how you attract players, and that's how you get the most out of players, because you look after them, and you will get the most out of them on the pitch if you kind of can look after them too. So I think the fact that Montrose as a club and the community trust as well do such great things in the area, they really kind of prioritised women's and girls and women's sport at the club, and that's how it grows, and that's how you get it to be so successful.
Promotion at the end of last season to SWPL2, currently top of SWPL2. How has that transitioned? Obviously there's been quite a lot of change within the squad, but how have you found that transition in terms of the quality you're now facing?
Yeah, last season was brilliant. It was probably one of the best moments of my footballing career, being invincible. I'd like to think that would happen again, but it's unlikely. And it was a really great thing for all the girls to kind of experience and be a part of. And it was so well talked about in the area, and really kind of promoted in the kind of local area where we are just now. I think from the step up, it's been okay. We've seen new players come in, and they've added a lot to the group, and it's pushed us on, and that's really helped. We've got some really top quality players in the team, and even myself, who was in the squad last season, I think Craig's done a good job at training to kind of push us on even more, and we train extra, and we do analysis, and we do kind of everything we can really to make sure we perform on a Sunday.
How much does your nature and your character demand that you keep pushing yourself? How desperate are you to keep improving and get better?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who plays football wants to be better. I think being at the level we're at just now, if you don't want to be better, then you're maybe not at the right level, and everyone kind of wants to win, and I'm definitely a player that kind of likes to win as well.
What would you say Craig has done then for you in your career?
I think Craig's been a big part of my footballing career personally. When I played at Dundee United, I had a really good kind of career there, but then I found myself kind of on the bench, not getting enough game time, and I kind of thought, because you've got a full-time job and you're not getting much, you don't get paid or anything, so I thought, well, maybe just leave it there and kind of not focus on it too much. But then Craig kind of came and got me, and now I kind of play most weekends and I absolutely love it, and I've kind of got my love back for the game, and now I actually think I've got the potential to kind of play at the top level, and he's almost kind of installed that belief in myself and a lot of other players in this team that have been in very similar situations to myself.
Tell me about your work and fitting your football in around your work. What does your job entail, and does it dovetail a little bit with your football career? Yeah,
I mean, I just love football, I love the game, and that's why I kind of work in that industry. So right now I work at Arbroath Community Trust, so just around the corner from Montrose, and it's a new community trust. It's only in its second year, and I'm the third full-time employee there. So I work on all the kind of community engagement from that side, and I absolutely love it. It's just using the kind of football badge as the hook to almost tackle bigger issues, whether that's kind of your mental well-being, is whether it's getting kind of older people in to look at kind of football memories, sorting out season tickets for people who can't afford them, opening a community cafe to give people hot meals. It's stuff that the badge that and like the game that is football will kind of attract, because it's such a kind of renowned sport, I guess.
What would you like to see happening at this club? Where do you think this club can go?
I'd like to say it can go as far as kind of we push it. We'd love to kind of play in the top level, and that's an ambition that kind of is shared throughout the club. And I think Montrose could be a club that's kind of at the top of Scottish football, but that'll take time, and when the time's right, we'll go up. But right now, we just work as hard as we can and see where it takes us, really.